Welcome to this guide on investing, based on the lessons of Robert Kiyosaki, the best-selling author of Rich Dad Poor Dad and the Cash Flow Quadrant. Kiyosaki has spent decades teaching people how money really works, and why the rich continue to grow wealth while the poor and middle class often struggle. Investing, in his words, is not just about money. It's about education, mindset, and the ability to create freedom. Many people think investing is only for the wealthy, but Kiyosaki flips that idea on its head. He believes investing is the path that creates wealth in the first place. In this video, we're going to take a full journey through his ideas, what investing really means, the different kinds of investors, the levels of growth, and the practical steps you can start taking today. By the end, you'll understand how to make money work for you instead of always working for money. Kiyosaki starts with a simple but powerful idea: the rich buy assets, while the poor and middle class buy liabilities. Assets put money into your pocket. Examples: rental properties, dividend-paying stocks, or businesses you own. Liabilities take money out of your pocket. Examples: car loans, credit card debt, or even an expensive house that costs more than it brings in. Most people confuse the two. They buy things that look like assets but behave like liabilities. For example, many see a new car as a sign of wealth, but it actually drains money every month. The rich understand this difference clearly, and it shapes how they invest. Another foundation of investing is financial education. Kiyosaki often says, "It's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep." Without knowledge, even someone who suddenly earns a lot can lose it quickly. Think of lottery winners who end up broke. Education protects wealth. So before investing in stocks, real estate, or businesses, Kiyosaki insists you must first invest in yourself, through books, courses, mentors, and experience. According to Kiyosaki, not all investors are the same. He divides them into different types based on mindset and approach. 1. The poor investor. This type avoids risk completely. They prefer to save money in the bank, where inflation eats away at its value. Fear drives their decisions, so their wealth rarely grows. 2. The middle-class investor. They often rely on financial advisors or blindly follow trends. They invest in retirement funds or mutual funds without really understanding them. Their results are average, and they still depend on a job for survival. 3. The rich investor. They seek opportunities others overlook. They study investments, understand risk, and learn how to manage it. They focus on cash flow and long-term growth, not quick wins. Kiyosaki emphasizes that being a rich investor isn't about starting with millions. It's about how you think and how you educate yourself. Two people could both buy real estate, one might lose money, while the other builds an empire. Simply because of knowledge and mindset. Kiyosaki also explains that investors grow through different levels. Knowing where you are helps you understand the next step. 1. Level 0, the non-investor. This person spends everything they earn. They live paycheck to paycheck, with nothing left to invest. Their future depends entirely on working. 2. Level 1, the borrower. They spend more than they earn and use debt to cover the gap. Credit cards, loans, and constant financial stress define this stage. 3. Level 2, the saver. They live within their means and save money in banks. While safer than borrowing, savings alone rarely build wealth because inflation reduces value over time. 4. Level 3, the smart investor. This level understands the difference between good and bad debt. They start small, buying stocks, mutual funds, or small properties. They're building habits of investing, but results are modest. 5. Level 4, the long-term investor. They have financial education and clear strategies. They focus on assets that generate steady cash flow, like real estate or businesses. Their wealth compounds over decades. 6. Level 5, the capitalist investor. This is the highest level. These investors create big businesses, invest in entire industries, and use other people's money and time to scale wealth. Examples: Warren Buffett in stocks, or entrepreneurs like Elon Musk in businesses. Most people never move past level 2 or 3, but Kiyosaki teaches that reaching level 4 is achievable for anyone with education, discipline, and patience. Part 4, Principles of Wealth Building, almost equals 3 minutes. Kiyosaki highlights several key principles that guide smart investing. Cash flow is king. Instead of gambling on price rises, focus on investments that bring in steady income every month. Rental properties and dividends are classic examples. The power of compounding. Small gains reinvested over time grow into massive wealth. For example, reinvesting rental income into new properties accelerates growth. Leverage. The rich use other people's money, time, and skills. Mortgages, partnerships, and business teams allow exponential growth. Taxes. The rich legally minimize taxes through business structures and investment vehicles. They understand that tax laws favor investors and business owners, not employees. Kiyosaki's point is simple: you don't need to work harder for money, you need to learn how to make money work harder for you. What kinds of investments does Robert Kiyosaki focus on? 1. Real estate. Kiyosaki's favorite asset. Provides rental income, potential appreciation, and tax benefits. He stresses buying for cash flow, not speculation. 2. Businesses. Owning systems that operate without you. Could be franchises, online businesses, or companies you build. 3. Paper assets. Stocks, bonds, mutual funds. Kiyosaki respects them but prefers tangible assets because paper assets depend heavily on market swings. 4. Commodities and cryptocurrencies. Gold, silver, and Bitcoin are sometimes mentioned as hedges against inflation. These are more about protection than cash flow. His advice: start small, start where you are, and focus on investments you understand. Don't chase trends, invest in what makes sense to you and where you can learn by doing. Part 6, Steps to Becoming a Smart Investor, almost equals 3 minutes. So, how can you put Kiyosaki's wisdom into action? 1. Change your mindset. See money as a tool, not a goal. Focus on assets, not liabilities. 2. Invest in education. Read books, attend seminars, follow mentors. The more you learn, the less you fear risk. 3. Start small. Buy a few shares of stock, a small rental property, or launch a side hustle. Experience is the best teacher. 4. Reinvest your profits. Don't spend early gains, use them to buy more assets. This accelerates your path to financial freedom. 5. Build systems and teams. Work with accountants, lawyers, and partners. You don't have to know everything, you just need to build the right network. 6. Stay patient and persistent. Wealth is built over years, not weeks. Those who stay disciplined see results. Robert Kiyosaki's guide to investing is not about getting rich quick. It's about creating freedom of choice. When your investments generate enough income to cover your lifestyle, you're no longer trapped by a job or paycheck. The ultimate goal is not money, it's freedom, security, and the ability to live life on your terms. So, as you walk away from this video, remember. Start where you are. Invest in your mind first. Focus on assets, not liabilities. And keep moving forward, step by step, toward the right side of the cash flow quadrant. With patience, discipline, and education, financial freedom isn't just possible, it's inevitable. Introduction: Breaking the Money Myth. Most people grow up hearing the same financial advice. Go to school, get a good job, work hard, save money, and one day you'll retire rich. But Robert Kiyosaki argues this is one of the biggest myths in modern society. The reality is, millions of people follow this formula their entire lives, and still struggle financially. Inflation eats away at savings, taxes take the biggest bite from paychecks, and job security is no longer guaranteed. That's why Kiyosaki teaches something radically different. Instead of working for money, you must learn how to make money work for you. In his books, especially Guide to Investing, he explains not just where to put your money, but how to think like the wealthy, how to spot opportunities, and how to build lasting cash flow that frees you from relying on a job. In this video, we're going to unpack his investing philosophy in depth. We'll explore why traditional advice keeps people trapped, the rules of money the rich actually follow, the mindset traps that keep most investors stuck, and practical steps you can take to start building wealth and financial freedom. So if you've ever wondered why the rich keep getting richer, and how you can join them, this guide will give you the roadmap. Why most people struggle financially. Kiyosaki begins with a hard truth: the financial system isn't designed to make the average person rich. It's designed to keep people working. From childhood, we're taught, study hard, get a good job, and save money. That formula worked decades ago, when pensions were strong, inflation was low, and one income could support a family. But today, jobs are unstable. Saving money in a bank actually loses value over time. Governments print money, causing inflation to rise. And taxes punish workers more than investors. This is why many people, even with high-paying jobs, still feel trapped in the rat race, earning money only to see it disappear through expenses, taxes, and debt. Kiyosaki argues that financial struggle isn't caused by lack of income, but by lack of financial education. People don't know the rules of money, so they play the game blindly, and lose. The rules of money. The rich follow a very different set of rules than everyone else. Kiyosaki identifies 4 key principles. 1. Assets versus liabilities. Assets put money into your pocket. Liabilities take money out. The middle class often confuses the two, buying liabilities like cars or big houses and calling them investments. 2. Cash flow over capital gains. Most people gamble on prices rising. The wealthy prioritize consistent cash flow, like rent, dividends, or royalties. 3. Good debt versus bad debt. Bad debt, credit cards and consumer loans. Good debt, mortgages or business loans that generate income. 4. Taxes favor investors. Employees pay the most in taxes. Investors and business owners pay less because they use structures the tax code rewards. These rules show why the rich keep getting richer, because they're playing a different game altogether. Mindset traps that keep people poor. Kiyosaki says it isn't money that keeps people stuck, it's their mindset. The biggest traps include fear of losing money. People avoid investing because they fear risk, but inflation is a guaranteed loss. Cynicism. Saying, "that'll never work," without ever trying prevents learning. Laziness. Not always lying around, often it's being too busy to build a side hustle or learn investing. Arrogance. Believing you already know enough blocks growth. Wealth starts in the mind. Until these barriers are broken, no investment strategy will work. The cash flow quadrant revisited. The cash flow quadrant is one of Kiyosaki's most powerful frameworks. E. Employee, works for money. Trades time for a paycheck. S. Self-employed, works for themselves. Doctors, freelancers, consultants. They own their job. B. Business owner, owns systems that work without them. A McDonald's franchise, for example. I. Investor, money works for them. Cash flow comes from dividends, rent, or capital investments. Most people live on the left side, E and S. The goal is to transition to the right side, B and I, where wealth and freedom are created. Kiyosaki reminds us, being rich isn't about salary. It's about which side of the quadrant you live on. Levels of investors. In Guide to Investing, Kiyosaki describes 6 levels of investors. 1. Level 0, non-investor, spends everything, invests nothing. 2. Level 1, borrower, uses credit to fund lifestyle, always in debt. 3. Level 2, saver, puts money in banks, but inflation erodes value. 4. Level 3, I'm too busy, investor, hands money to financial advisors without understanding. 5. Level 4, do-it-yourself investor, studies investments, takes responsibility, grows wealth gradually. 6. Level 5, capitalist investor, creates businesses, influences economies, invests at scale. Kiyosaki emphasizes, you don't leap from level 0 to level 5 overnight. You grow step by step, gaining experience and education at each stage. The power of cash flow. Kiyosaki's focus is not wealth for its own sake, but freedom through cash flow. Imagine your monthly expenses are $3,000. If your investments provide $3,500 a month, you're financially free, even if you don't have millions in the bank. This is why he favors real estate and businesses. Price goes up and down, but cash flow provides stability and independence. Practical investment paths. So what kinds of investments does Kiyosaki recommend? Real estate. Predictable income. Leverage through mortgages. Tax advantages through depreciation. Businesses. True assets are businesses that can operate without you. Paper assets. Stocks, bonds, mutual funds. He sees these as useful but warns against blind investing. Commodities and precious metals. Gold and silver serve as a hedge against inflation. Cryptocurrency. In recent years, Kiyosaki has called Bitcoin digital gold. His rule is simple: never invest in something you don't understand. Education comes before investment. The investor's toolbox. To win the investing game, you need tools. Kiyosaki lists 3 main ones. 1. Financial statements. Learn to read income statements, balance sheets, and cash flow reports. 2. Leverage. Use other people's money, time, and expertise. 3. Teams. The rich work with accountants, attorneys, brokers, and mentors. No serious investor succeeds alone. Steps to start your journey. Kiyosaki offers a roadmap for beginners. 1. Invest in financial education. Books, seminars, and mentors. 2. Track your money. List assets, liabilities, income, and expenses. 3. Start small. Buy a few shares of stock, start a microbusiness, or purchase a small rental. 4. Reinvest profits. Don't spend gains, compound them into more assets. 5. Build systems. Automate income through businesses and teams. 6. Stay patient. Real wealth builds over years, not weeks. Conclusion: freedom, not just wealth. Robert Kiyosaki's message is clear: investing isn't about chasing millions. It's about achieving freedom. When your passive income covers your expenses, you're free. Free from jobs you dislike, free from worrying about bills, free to live life on your own terms. The path requires courage, education, and persistence. But every step you take, whether buying your first asset, reading your first financial statement, or starting your first side hustle, moves you closer to financial independence. So remember, don't just work for money. Learn to make money work for you. That's the true guide to investing.